Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Bol. Bass is too much. Make bass 0. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Shyam Jaya Jaya Shri Vrindavan Dham. Jaya Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Shri Vrindavan. Jaya Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Shyam Jaya Jaya Shri Vrindavan Dham. Jaya Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Shyam Jaya Jaya Shri Vrindavan. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Rama Rama. Kaliga Pavana Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuvanmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminjiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. All of you repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. What is the name of the colony?
Hare Krishna. Welcome all for this special session today. We have His Grace Radheshyam Prabhuji with us for this special session. So just a brief introduction about Prabhuji. He has been serving ISKCON for quite a long, many years. He had been IIT Mumbai topper, and then for last 22 years he has been president of ISKCON Pune, serving a community of almost 6,000 members over there. Prabhuji has been director of the Youth Club Voice, and then he has been inspiring many youth from many years. And he has been compiler of many youth books like Stress to Smile and 5-volume Essence of Gita. for which, for all the efforts, he had also received Global Excellence Award for educating youth in Bhagavad Gita. So, in addition to India, Prabhuji also travels extensively and also provides a lot of seminars in MIT Boston, Stanford University, and University of Washington and Cornell University. He has also provided many corporate seminars specifically to Amazon, Bank of America, Infosys, Cognizant, and many more. Currently, he has been training the youth for last 25 years in all leading IITs, NITs, and many other places. So he has been really a great inspiration to all of us, and we are very fortunate today to have him with us. So let's take the opportunity to have this association with him. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay? Hare Krishna. All right? So everybody is comfortable with English? Sure? Okay. Very happy to be here at Aparna Society, right? So Aparna Society Clubhouse is full now. It's houseful now. It's very amazing to see there's such a great interest level in all of you. What is the topic I had given? Suffering? Put a full stop to suffering, right? Put a full stop to suffering. Okay. So all of you, devotees assembled here, think about what I am going to tell you. In this world where we are living, we all want to be happy. Nobody can deny that. You all agree? But in the course of our endeavoring for happiness, along with that, some suffering also comes. For example, you ask these children, who likes gems to eat? When it was a small, correct now you like it, right? Round one, small one. When my mother first gave me one or two, I asked her, where does this come from? And she showed me a packet. Then I finished the whole packet. Then I told her, please take some 20 packets for me to home. She said, if I take you 20 packets, all your teeth will be gone. So she said, this is not good for you. But nevertheless, I was very adamant. I liked the cocoa chocolates very much in those days. So you will see that while eating it is very tasty, but later on we lose our tooth, lose our teeth. We can see that. Although it's very enjoyable. At the same time, there are many things which are not very enjoyable for eating. Like doctor may sometimes tell you that you should regularly drink bitter gourd juice. Any of you have drunk bitter gourd juice here? You know bitter gourd? Yeah. So sometimes doctor tells you should drink some neem fruit or bitter gourd juice. It's good for your health. We don't like it. People just don't like to touch it also. But we see that sometimes we make a bitter gourd sabji. Nobody wants to touch it. When it is something sweet, everybody is after it. You will see. So in this world, you will see there are many things in this world we want to enjoy. But along with enjoyment, there is also some mixture of suffering along with that. That's how this world is created. If you very carefully observe the world in which we are living in, every part of the body, has a doctor. For example, who is the doctor for the teeth? Dentist. Who is the doctor for the skin? Dermatologist. Who is the doctor for the brain? Who is the doctor for the heart? Who is the doctor for the bones? Orthopedician, yeah. Who is the doctor for the eyes, nose, throat? ENT specialist, isn't it? So you all know that. Now, which means all the different doctors' names you took, that clearly shows that all these parts of the body can give us trouble. Otherwise, why the doctors are there? These doctors are specialized in MD in all these areas because these parts of the body can give potentially trouble to us. Therefore, they have done MD and waiting. So, you will see that our body gives, for some people, they have a problem with kidney. For some people, they have problem with lungs. Some have problem with liver. some have problem with brain. So I was just now telling you that for every part of the body, uh, there can be a doctor, because those parts of the body can give us trouble. But is there anyone here who wants trouble in any part of the body? Tell me. How many of you would like to have a healthy body all throughout your life? Yes? Correct, we all would like to have. But nevertheless, we have some problem in the body. Somebody has digestion problem. Somebody has breathing problem. Somebody has kidney problem. Different problems. So that means in this world there is a mixture of happiness and distress. You can see that we are not able to get only happiness. Like for example, we study in the school days. Sometimes you get, yeah, you can close it. Sometimes you get first rank. Sometimes you get a fifth rank or something like that. You can't always be first rank. Sometimes you pass, sometimes you fail. So in the Gita, Lord Krishna says, Sukha dukkha same kritva labha labho jaya jayau. He says, sometimes there is sukham, sometimes there is dukkham. Sometimes labh, sometimes alabh. Sometimes jai, sometimes parajai. He says. So that's the way the world is. Sometimes Shita, sometimes Ushna. Right now, if you see, the winter season is coming up. So nobody likes chill, cold winter. But then winter anyway comes, and you have to tolerate it. Then after some time, the hot summer will come. In the May, June time, May month, April, May, it will be very hot. So whenever there is a suffering in this world, our mind immediately goes to the suffering. You will see that. And mind wants to know how I can immediately rectify this suffering. I want to become happy. For example, if it is very cold, what do people do? They put a heat pump. Or if it is very hot, they put air conditioner. We have an answer for every suffering in this world. We want to offset the suffering. That's what science is all about. Science also is trying to eliminate suffering by creating new inventions. But you will find even after medical advancement, scientific advancement, technological advancement, still we have sufferings in this world. Do you agree? Like last 2-3 years, we have been suffering from the pandemic, right? One tiny creature called corona, you see, you can't even see with eyes, that was shaking the whole world. Where is man's control? Think about it. So that pandemic swept a good amount of population. Many people died. Some were children, some were youngsters, some were old. So nobody could predict who will live and who will die, and everybody was wearing masks all over the world, and everybody was living in a state of fear. Actually, none of us here want to live in a state of fear. We actually want to live a carefree life, life of freedom and happiness. But we do see that in this world, our life, a happy life, is punctuated by suffering, and that suffering comes time to time. If you very carefully observe, let us go from childhood and observe the world around us. Like when a child is newly born and lying in the bed, the child is crying. The mother doesn't know why the child is crying. Just now the child drank the milk. Why is he still crying? Because the bed on which the child is put is little irritating to the child. It's a rough bed. He wants a smooth bed, but he can't say. Quack, 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 quack. Like that he keeps crying. You seen that? And the mother is thinking, maybe the child is feeling very cold. So she wraps the child with a napkin, and the child is feeling even more hot now than before. So you will find the life begins with crying. In fact, when a child is born, the child doesn't cry, the doctor will give a slap to the child. You know that? Supposed to cry, correct, no? If a child is born and is not crying. Now, when I was a small child, 3, 4, 5 years, we never went to school. Nowadays, children go to school at 3, I think. They put a pre-nursery or something, correct, no? What age it starts, pre-nursery? 3.5 years, is it? Yeah. In our days, we never went to school till 5.5. We never went to school. So we were really jolly at home with mother. So I thought all my life I can be with mother. But suddenly one day my mother put a uniform, white and blue, and socks and shoes. I asked my mother, what is this new Veshbhush today? She said, today is a very special day. She said, you will come to know what it is. Then she took me to the bus stop. And sure enough, there was a bus which came and stopped. There was a conductor wearing khaki with a big mustache. My mother handed me over to him. And that fellow caught me and put me in the bus and closed the door. Huh? I screamed through the window, Amma, what is this? Who is this unknown fellow? Huh? Yeah. And my mother was smiling and saying like this. She said, go. Huh? I was surprised how my mother had handed me over to some unknown fellow. Huh? I went to the school. What do you think I did in the school? All day I was crying. In the bus also I was punching that fellow. That fellow shouted, keep quiet. He was telling. So that evening I came back again crying. In the bus stop, mother was waiting. When I saw her, I was very happy. Then I told her all the things that happened in the school. And I thought in my life I have to go to school only one day in my life. That was the only day I thought. But the next day morning, again she was preparing me with the uniform. Again the socks and shoes. I asked her, what are you going to do with me today? She said, nothing. I'm just dressing you up, that's all. Then she was taking me out. Where are you taking me? She said, I'm taking you to a park. Just we want to have some fresh wind. So she took me to the park and slowly again took me to the same bus stop. And then she put me in the bus. So why did I tell you this? Children don't like to be separated from their parents. But none of us like to be separated. But at that age, we want to be in the lap of the mother, but we are separated. That separation causes pain to us. And then when you go to the school further, you study, you come to 7th standard, 8th standard. Nowadays, many parents tell their children, when you come to 7th or 8th, you have to study for what exam? IIT JEE. Huh? Earlier, it used to start at 11th, 12th. Now they start at 7th or 8th now. Huh? Go for this tuition, go for that tuition. You know, when I went to South India once, one mother was telling me that my son is little moody. I am afraid he should not get any mental problem. Please kindly can you talk to him? So I took the boy and asked him, what's your problem? He said, my mother is my problem, he was telling. I asked, really? What's the problem with your mother? He said, Prabhu, my mother wants me to get into IIT, but I'm not very confident. I'm studying, I'm doing my level, but she's saying, drink this coffee, drink this tea, keep awake at night, don't sleep. And she has big eyes. She's telling, somehow you have to get into IIT. Huh? You know? So the boy said, I am very worried that if I don't crack IIT, I don't know what she will do. Huh? She's coming in my dream, like Bhadrakali doing Tandav. Huh? Have you seen Bhadrakali doing Tandav? So he said, that is how I am becoming moody. Then he told the mother, Madam, you see in this world, everybody is born with a certain type of body, which is like a certain type of model car. You have a Maruti car, you have a Benz car, you have a Lamborghini car. Huh? These cars are not the same. They are all different model car and they can go at different speeds also. Can a Luna go like Maruti? Even if you speed up like that. Huh? Luna has its own speed. Maruti has its speed. Benz has its speed. Similarly, every one of you sitting here, look at the faces. You all have a unique face cut. Did you cut your face or God gave you the face? God has given you the face cut. Did you choose your parents or God chose parents for you? God chose parents for you. According to our punya papa, purva janma arjita punyam agre dhavati dhavati. It is said, according to your punya papa you did in the past life, you get a fair skin or a black skin, you get a handsome body or ugly body. You are born in a rich family or a poor family. You are born with great intelligence or a meager intelligence. So these are all awarded according to our purva janma karma phala. They are all awarded like that. So what should parents do with the children? Actually, a mother can tell the boy, you try your best, my child. If God wills and by your effort you may crack it. If you don't crack it, there is always plan B, plan C, plan D. Many other plans are there. But you will see that many parents are very much in tension. So when a boy is studying for the IIT or a girl is studying for IIT who suffers? The child suffers or the parents suffer? Yes? Some are saying child, some are saying parents. Who? Both are suffering. Both are suffering. Parents are suffering, worrying about the future of the child. Children are suffering, worrying about the tension of the parents. Huh? Both are in tension. You will see that. Okay, let us assume that somebody cracked IIT and they got through it also and they got into IIT or NIT or some good engineering college. Can you say that the problems are over? That's where the problem starts actually. When you join the college, you have to finish 50 papers. You have to crack the exams. 50 papers you have to pass. In the first year, there is a subject called engineering drawing, which is a great nightmare for many students. It's a tough subject. When you go to the third semester, there is a mathematics 2. We call it M2 maths, which is very tough also. So even if you don't pass in one paper, can you get your degree? Imagine out of 50, you've passed in 49 papers and said, sir, mathematics is a little difficult for me. I can't crack it. Please give me a degree. Will they give? No. You have to pass. Ultimately, you only have to pass. Sometimes people appear 4 or 5 times. So study tension in the college is a very commonly known thing. And then once you cross through the college, when you finish 4 years and you earn a degree, are you peaceful? Why one is not peaceful? Job. In India, 18 lakh students are passing out of engineering. Only 3 lakh students get jobs. Other 5 lakhs, they go for masters. What do you think about the other 10 lakhs? Many of them are jobless. Of course, some of them are businessmen's sons join father's business. Yeah. But many of them are even driving Uber, Ola nowadays. It's a very great challenge. You can see the job opportunities. That causes a lot of tension to children in the college days. At last, you got one job. You are very happy. Now, is all the tension over now? No. Because after getting job also, any job can lay you off at any time. Like during COVID time, in America, 900 crore companies came down to 300 crores. So they laid off also many, many people. In India also some big companies laid off 25,000 employees, 50,000 employees and all. They laid off. So there is always a fear that if I am laid off, how will I maintain my family? There is always a fear when you're having a job. And after 4 or 5 years in the job, if you don't get promotion, that is also, wife will keep on stinging. Tung, tung, tung. She will say, what happened? Your colleague, the neighbor has got promoted. Why you are not promoted? So if somebody calls you incompetent, that is a greater suffering than physical pain also. So, okay, let us assume that you got promotion, you got job, now you became 30, 32, 33. Some people don't get married. They get tension because of not getting married. Because parents say, we want to get a boy or a girl in the same caste. So therefore, there is a tension. If you don't marry, it's tension. After marriage, another type of tension. Because sometimes there is no match of the mindset of the husband and wife. Their expectations are mutual expectations are different. There is mismatch. Lot of misunderstandings between the two. It takes 2, 3, 4, 5 years eventually to understand each other. Then after marriage, 5 years, you don't get a child, there is tension because all friends are asking, you're married for 5 years, you don't have any child. What happened to you? So they go to doctors, they go to many temples, they do circumambulation, so many things they do. At last, some people beget a child after 8 years or 10 years also. When they get a child, are they happy? Yes, they are happy. But when the child is born, there is a problem with child also. Because child won't touch fire. Sometimes the child takes a pressure cooker, the weight and puts in the mouth. Sometimes he takes a knife and cuts his fingers. Sometimes the child runs out of the house. Parents have to always worry. How many mothers have felt tension when you have a small baby? You have tension? Correct, no? Until the child grows to a certain age, you always have tension. You will see that. Okay, when the child grows up, is the tension over? Say, let us say the boy or the girl have come to the teenage. Is the tension over? Parents have another type of tension. The boy should not, take to drugs, or should not smoke, he should not drink. He should not disrespect the parents, because till the age of 12, 13, 14, children are aligned with the parents. Parents are very happy. Once children go to teenage, when they don't listen, then the parents get tremendous pain in the mind, the heart. Alas, I raised this child and he's not listening to me. Or if a girl, they're afraid that she should not elope with a boy. She should not bring bad repute to the family. There is tension. Okay, let us assume that some of you have got old enough. You have crossed 50 or 60. So now are you free from tension? What is the tension in old age? Anybody? Health problems. Knees are paining, back is paining. If you sit down, you can't get up. If you get up, you can't sit down. That means from womb to tomb, this body gives us suffering in this world. Although you don't want suffering, you want only happiness. So you all are able to understand what I am saying? Is it clear to everybody? So till now I have only told you one thing. In this world, we want happiness. But we are getting happiness mixed with suffering. And I gave you many examples. I told you the names of the doctors, different doctors I told you. I told you from womb to tomb how there is suffering in this world. So now let us turn to the pages of Bhagavad Gita, what Lord Krishna says about this. Ma puvettatu kaunteya dukkhalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmanaha samsiddhyam paramam gataha. Arjuna, all the souls in this world, they don't belong to this world. This world is called material world. It's a foreign place to the soul. The souls belong to the spiritual world. There is a spiritual plane, there is a material plane. Just like rainwater, if you see, it's very pure when it's coming from the sky. But the same rainwater, when it touches the ground, it becomes muddy. Similarly, we are all pure beings. But now when we come to the material world, we become covered with impurity. And to the degree we are covered with impurity, that much we suffer. And we are free from impurity, there is no more suffering. But the soul doesn't become impure. The soul is always pure, but the soul is covered by impurity. Is that clear? It's just a covering. For example, these bulbs are all, say, white color or yellow color now. If you put a red color, a glossy paper over it, then it'll appear red. If you put a yellow color, it'll appear yellow. If you put a black paper, then the bulb will appear blackish. Similarly, we all carry some, when we come to this world, we carry some impurity. And because of that, we suffer. He says that. So, what is that impurity that is causing us to suffer in this world is enjoying spirit, we call it. Enjoying spirit or exploiting spirit. In this world, everybody is exploiting one another. In this world, we can see that. There is a tendency. Everybody is thinking, like for example, when I go to Pune station, the, the auto men come and say, Swamiji, please give your luggage, I will carry it for you. They snatch your luggage from both your hands and he walks ahead and you go behind, he puts you in the auto, then you ask him, how much is the charge? There is no meter in your auto. He says, whatever you give, I will accept. You've seen in India people say that. And then after he reaches you, you take out a 50 rupee note, he will say, get me 500, he will say. Get me 300. It's exploitation. So in the early days when somebody asked for my luggage, I happily gave it. Now I don't give it to anybody. I know why is he so eager to serve. His so-called desire to serve is only cheating. You agree? Similarly, you go to a hotel, a waiter is smiling, but his smile, behind the smile is a demand for a tip. Correct, no? So in this world, therefore we all are afraid that everywhere we go in this world, people are trying to exploit. So we are all afraid. We don't have trust. In marriage or in education or in doctor and patient, everywhere the trust is reducing nowadays. Due to which in this world we have a great fear. And also you will find in the animal kingdom also, a frog eats a fly. But the frog is itself eaten by a snake. A snake is eaten by an eagle. So one living being becomes a food for another. This is called as Jivo Jivasya Jivanam. So can all these living beings live peacefully? They are very afraid. Anytime we will be swallowed. But Lord Krishna gives us a good news. He says material world means Jivo Jivasya Jivanam. Not only in animal kingdom, even in the human kingdom also. For example, one intelligent boy comes and sits for an interview. He cracks the interview and takes the Microsoft job and goes away. Less intelligent boy loses the job. Correct, no? Similarly, big business people come, they swallow the small companies. Just like, for example, the Facebook company, I heard I think it swallowed the smaller businesses, correct, no, when they came. Yeah, bigger companies swallow smaller companies. Like when big shopping mall comes, all the small shops are closed down because they sell, from potato to gold, they sell everything. So in this world, one swallows the other in the material world. It's called as Jivo Jivasya Jivanam. Whereas the spiritual world, Lord Krishna says, it is called as Jio Jinedo. Live and let live. So I'm going to show you a slideshow here. Just a minute. So you can recite this verse. Ahastani sahastanam apadani chatushpadam falguni tatra mahatam jivo jivasya jivanam. What is the meaning of this verse? Ahastani, those people who don't have hands. Sahastanam, they become prey for those who have hands. For example, the worms have no hand, but they become food for the birds which have hands. The birds come flying and then catching the worms. And apadani chatushpadam, the grass has no legs, but the chatushpadam is the cows. The cows eat the grass. The birds eat the worms. Falguni tatra mahatam means the mightier ones swallow the weaker ones. Jivo jivasya jivanam, like here you see. The tiger chases a deer. Which is the mightier one in this? Which is the weaker one? Yeah. So the weaklings become food for the mightier ones. But don't think the mightier ones are free. Mightier ones are the stronger ones. They also have trouble. There is one small bird that is watching a tiger coming out of the den. At that time, the bird will come and sit on the neck of the tiger and makes a sound. Phew, 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 phew. Like that, it makes a sound. Then all the other smaller animals like rabbits and deer, they will run very fast because they know that the tiger is out of the den. And this bird comes to announce it. And the tiger is very angry with the bird. Why are you making announcement? Now I can't catch them. And the tiger becomes angry on the bird, but the bird flies and goes and sits on a tree branch. The tiger can't do anything. So the smaller ones become a nuisance creator for the bigger ones. And the bigger ones, they chase after the smaller ones. So who is creating trouble to whom? No, both create trouble to each other. Correct. Now, for example, if a mosquito sometimes comes and sits and sucks blood, so that time mosquito is creating you trouble. Then you design an electric bat. You roast all the mosquitoes. Correct, no? So who is creating trouble to whom? Both are creating trouble to each other. That's what he is saying. And here you see small fish is eaten by bigger fish, bigger by even more bigger fish. Similarly, you can see flower is eaten by caterpillar, caterpillar by a frog, frog by a snake, snake by a bird, like that. It goes on. Here, big companies swallow smaller company businessmen. See, when British were ruling India, they were taking service from Indians by making them slaves. There were Mughals at one time, 700 years, then they also made Indian slaves and, looted a lot of money. Both British and Mughals came and went. And now, it's not that everything is peaceful now. In 1963-64, Chinese people tried. Later on, Pakistani people tried to come into India. So different people have tried. You will see that. So therefore, you will find in this world there is always a threat for our peaceful living in this world. Please repeat this verse. Ishwaraha Parama Krishnaha Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. See, Ishvara means controller. Even all of us are Ishwaras, but we are tiny Ishwaras. Like even ant is called Ishwara. Why? Because one ant may be leader ant, he may tell all the other ants to go in a row. So he is also a small Ishwar. But if you take a hose pipe and throw water, his Ishwaratva will be finished because he'll be washed away with other ants. Then you are a bigger Ishwar than that Ishwar. But then when Devatas put tsunami, then you are also washed away. Then they are bigger Devatas. But beyond all the Devatas is one Supreme Lord called as Parama. Parama means what? Supreme. Namyeshwaranam paramam maheshwaram tam daivatanam paramam cha daivatam patim patinam paramam parastat vidamadevam bhuvaneshwamidhyam yasmat param na paramasti kinchit yasman naniyo yosti kinchit vrikshayiva dividishtatyekaste nedam purnam purushena sarvam. This is Shruti mantras, 2 verses I told you now. So these say that tam daivatanam paramam cha daivata means amongst all the devatas he is the supreme. There are many mukhya mantris in India, chief ministers, but how many pradhan mantris? So the one supreme lord is only one amongst many 33 crore devatas. They're all like mukhya mantris, but the supreme lord is like pradhan mantri. So he's saying, who is that Ishvara Parama? Is Krishna, he says. So Sripad Shankaracharya, Sripad Ramanujacharya, Sripad Madhvacharya, they all have glorified Krishna as the Supreme Lord. And what is his body made up of? Satchidananda Vigraha. His body is made up of spiritual substance, eternity, knowledge and bliss. Anadir, he has no beginning. Adir is beginning of everyone and everything. Sarvakarana Karanam is the cause of all causes, he's saying. And that Lord Krishna in Gita says that, my dear Arjun, because you are understanding the subject matter, that in material world there is suffering. Now I am going to tell you why there is suffering. Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita. We have to understand the root cause of our suffering. That's very important. Sometimes, for example, I have a boil in the hand. My sister may tell me that, Anna, you have a boil, I'll just blow it. Will it be relieving me? Will it give relief? No, it will give relief when she is blowing, but how long can she blow? Huh? So, what is the best thing to do if I have a boil? What I should do? Huh? What we should do? Actually, you have to go to the doctor. Correct? Now, you apply the ointment and get it cured. Is curing better or blowing on the boil better? We have to cure it. So, therefore, any problem you face, you should find out a solution to that. How can we find out? So, say for example, like one boy was getting pimples on his face. So he went to the doctor. Doctor said, apply this Clearasil ointment. So I applied the ointment and next week he was clean cheeks. He was very happy. But again, after 1 week, again it came again. Again he applied. Again it went up. Again it came. So he exhausted a dozen pastes. Then he asked the doctor, sir, last 2 years I am suffering. I am not able to cure it. Doctor said, I don't know any other medicine. The only medicine I know is this ointment. Keep on applying it. So the man got fed up. He went to another doctor. That doctor told him, oh, this is repeating like this. I have to test your blood, he said. He tested his blood and said, your blood has impurity. So I will give you an injection and this will be gone forever. So he gave him an injection and this was gone forever. So what is the difference between these two doctors, the first and second one? Any of you can tell me? Yeah? Root cause. The second doctor went to the root cause. The first doctor went only to the superficial cause. So which one we should go to whenever you have problem? To root cause or superficial cause? Superficial cause is like, you have a grass coming up in the garden around your plant. You cut it, next day morning, it will come back again. Again you cut it, again it will come. Trimming is not enough. You have to remove it by uproot it. So therefore, if you go to Gita, we come to understand in the Bhagavad Gita why we are suffering. See, in this verse, Krishna says, there are two energies, Arjuna. One is called material energy, another one is called spiritual energy. So spiritual energy is like a fire. Material energy is like a smoke. So in the kitchen, which one you want? You want fire or you want smoke in the kitchen? Fire. Because fire serves, smoke troubles. Correct, no? So therefore, spiritual world is like fire, material world is like smoke. That means in material world, there is trouble. You will find. Because we have left the spiritual world and come here, there is trouble. For example, when a man marries a woman, both of them become husband, wife, initially there is happiness. But when you stay together, after some time, there is some fight. Like one man slapped his wife. Immediately the wife went to her mother's home. 2 months she didn't come back. Then the man had to cook prasad himself every day. Then he realized how difficult it is to cook. He made again and again phone call, please come back, please come back. She said, you slapped me, I won't come back. So if she's remaining at home, he becomes angry on her and slaps. If she goes away, he has to cook. So which one is troublesome? Both are troublesome. You would see, that is samsara is like that. When we come together, we become angry. When we are away, we are lamenting that we are away. So therefore, the smoke is like that. Smoke always causes trouble, material world. So Lord Krishna says, but there is another world, that's a good news for you here. Please repeat this. Apareyam itastvanyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat. This world is called apara prakriti and that is called para prakriti, spiritual world. And there he says, all the jivas originally belong to that place and they have come from there. And now they are covered by 3 coverings, you can see that. The soul is covered by subtle body and gross body. Subtle body consists of the mind, intelligence, ego. Gross body is the Panchamahabhut. Therefore, we are suffering in this world. Then he gives understanding of how, when you are living in this world, you should try to understand me, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Understand me to be the cause of all causes, essence of everything, and the best of everything. And by awakening your consciousness of me, you will come back to the spiritual world, he says. Then you don't have to rotate in the material world here. So these are two worlds explained by him. Because in this world, essence, there is essence of everything. Is like, for example, what is the essence of a bulb? To give light. What is the essence of a fan? To give air. Similarly, when you drink water, what do you expect? It has to quench your thirst, isn't it? Like somebody says, I will give you apple juice or pineapple juice or mango juice. You expect a taste or not? Do you expect or you don't expect? Imagine if it is like a bland water, you won't like it. Correct, no? So he says, I am the taste. I am the light of the sun and heat of the sun, he says. I am the light of the moon. And the sun causes the sunlight causes the growing of the crops and the grains, correct, no? The moonlight supplies all type of juices. I am the Pranava Sarva Vedeshu.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
I am the sound in the ether, he says. I am the strength of the strong, he says. Then he says, I am the fragrance of the earth. Because from the earth, whatever plants are coming, rose plant is coming, it has fragrance because the program for the fragrance is in the earth. The juice in the plants comes from the moonshine. The fire is hot because of me, he says. And all the living beings, they get their food arranged by me. For everybody has arranged food, 8.4 million species. For each of them, different type of food he has arranged. No scientist can produce any food and give you. He says he has arranged it. Similarly, I am the ability to perform tapasya. That also I provide. Bijam mam sarva bhutanam Vidhi partha sanatanam. I am the original seed of all existences, he says. Maybe you are aware, out of 120 varieties of cows, only 3 varieties are there now. 90 varieties are all killed already. Deshi cows. So those varieties which have become extinct, can a man bring it back now? You have to go to Krishna and ask, give that seed for them, original seed. He is the original seed giver. Like for example, you take a mango. You are liking the mango. Oh, mango is very nice, tasty. Where did this mango come from? You will say it came from the tree. Where did that tree get the mango from? From the seed. Where did this seed come from? The previous tree. You keep going behind. Up. The original mango seed was given by whom? Krishna says, I gave it, he says. That's why he's called as cause of all causes. So I'm drinking milk now. So milk is very nice. Who gave the milk? The cow gave the milk. How did the cow give milk? By eating grass. How did the grass come? By the rains. How did the rains come? From the clouds. How did the clouds get the water? From the ocean. So who evaporated the water of the ocean to become clouds? Sun. So how is the sun doing all this activity, moving around? Chakshuresha sabita sakala grahanam raja samasta suramurti rashesha tejaha yasyagnyaya brahmati sambritakala chakro govindamadi purusham tamaham vajami. By Govinda's agnya, the sun is moving, he is saying. Yasyagnyaya brahmati. The sun is moving daily. Is the sun moving by our order? Sun is rising in the morning. Have you ever seen sun getting up late in the morning any day? One day get up, sun is getting up at 10 o'clock in the morning saying, sorry sir, I am late today. Have you ever seen that? So precise, because following the order of Govinda, he says. The sun shines, the cloud showers, the grains grow, the flower blossoms. You will see that seasons change. All these are happening by his order. Similarly, he says, Buddhir buddhimatamasmi. Krishna says, I gave the brain to Newton to think how the apple is falling down instead of going up. Correct, no? Did Newton or Einstein create their own brain? Huh? Is there any scientist who created his own brain? God gives the brain. Correct, no? Krishna says gives. I am the prowess of the powerful. In this way, balam balavatam, I am the strength of the strong. And then dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bhartarshava. Marriage done with religious principles, that is me, he says. In this way, he says, there is a spiritual world. I'll show you further. This is spiritual world. And the spiritual world, in one corner, the material world is created. You will see that.
Emanates all the three worlds, both spiritual and mundane. Everything rests in me, Arjun, just as you see pearls hang upon a thread.
So just like you see this kantimala here, which I am wearing, so here all the manis are staying together. Do you know why? How are they able to stay together? That's a nylon thread. If you remove the nylon thread, they will all get scattered away. Like that in the material world, I am the binding, invisible personality, keeping everything in order, is telling, and all the planets in orbit and everything. So here you see the material world is created here. And within that material world, Vishnu is lying like this and he is giving birth to Brahma. And Brahma is the first son of Lord Vishnu. And Brahma became the leader of all the jivas. And Lord Vishnu told Brahma that you take care of all the jivas in the material world, I will give you the Vedic knowledge, distribute to them. And also I will make 14 planetary systems. Urdham gacchanti satpasta, pious people will go up, sinful people will go down, and passionate people will remain in the middle. So in this way the material world was created. So in this way, he says that there is a permanent spiritual world and temporary material world. We have shown a comparison, you are seeing that? In this world, you will find many opulences like this. Somebody is very beautiful, somebody is very wealthy or intelligent, strong, but these are all originally coming from spiritual world. These are originally present in spiritual world and Krishna in oceanic proportion. So different planets are created like this. Now I am going to go ahead so that we come to the last part of the topic, which I started today. This is the one. See, I told you about the suffering of the material world. Now this is the opposite verse about the spiritual world. Somebody can read the heading. Spiritual world is a place of? There is no envy. Please repeat this verse. Yatra naisarga durvairaha sahasan drumrigadayah mitrani vajitavasa dhrutaruttarshakadikam. The Goloka Vrindavana, or the spiritual world, is the transcendental abode of the Lord where there is no hunger, anger or thirst, he says. Nobody is hungry there. Nobody is angry or thirsty there. Though naturally inimical, both human beings and fierce animals live there together in transcendental friendship, it is said. In spiritual world, the tiger and deer are drinking water together in Yamuna. Because tiger also is a vegetarian in spiritual world. He also drinks only milk. He doesn't kill the deers. That spiritual world is like that. You all know Lord Shiva's darbar. You have seen who are all sitting in Shiva's darbar. Next to Shiva, who is sitting? Parvati Mata is sitting. In Parvati and Shiva's lap, two children are sitting. Who are they? Ganesh and Kartikeya, correct, no? Now all of them have different vahanas, correct? Like you see, Shiva's vahana is who? Nandi. So Nandi is parked in the parking lot. And what is Parvati's vahan? Tiger. Tiger is parked next to Nandi. Just imagine. And who is vahana of Kartikeya? Peacock. Peacock is standing next. Who is Vahana of Ganesha? Maushika, huh? Mouse, yeah. That is standing. Now imagine, next day morning you go to the parking lot, some vehicles will be missing. Correct, no? Because who can eat who? Correct, no? Who can eat who? Tiger can eat the Nandi bull. Huh? And also the snake is an enemy to the peacock. Because there is a snake in Shiva's neck that can be eaten up by the peacock. Isn't it? Similarly, the mouse also. It can become a food for the peacock also. Huh? Or the mouse can be eaten by the snake. But have you ever heard in Shiva's family, one vehicle ate the other vehicle? Huh? Have you ever heard that? And the reason is because Shiva is always dancing in great ecstasy. And all the Vahanas, they are all playing Mridangam, Kartal like we were singing. If your home is flooded with bhajan, the inimical nature will be finished. Huh? That is the beauty of any place. When the place becomes holy, the living beings don't want to exploit one another. In the material world, why there is suffering? Because everybody wants to exploit one another. In the spiritual world, there is no envy. There is no inimical nature. There, everybody lives in friendship. See here, Prabhupada says here, purport. The word vana means forest. We are all afraid of the forest and don't wish to go there. But in Vrindavan, the forest animals are as good as demigods. For they have no envy. Envy develops because of sense gratification. But in Vrindavan, there is no sense gratification. For the only aim is Krishna's satisfaction. Even in this material world, the animals in Vrindavan are not envious of the sadhus who live there. The sadhus keep cows and supply milk to the tigers, saying, "Come here and take a little milk." Thus, envy and malice are unknown in Vrindavan. That is the difference between Vrindavan and the ordinary world. We think the vana means forest is horrifying, but in Vrindavan there is no such order. Everyone there is happy by pleasing Krishna. Krishnot Kirtana Gana Nartana Parav. Whether Goswami or a tiger or other ferocious animal, everyone's business is same, to please Krishna. Even tigers are also devotees, he says. So everybody is happy. Calf is happy, cat is happy, dog is happy, man is happy. So the reason I'll tell you why they're happy, I will show you in small video, you can see this.
Hey, what do you want, my fine feathered friends? Ah, I see. What shall I play then?
See, in the spiritual world, Krishna even respects the request of a peacock. You saw now? What did Krishna ask the peacock? Anybody heard it well? Anybody heard what Krishna asked the peacock? Anybody knows? Oh, fine feathered friends, what can I do for you? He's asking. Although Krishna is supreme, he is asking the peacocks, what do you want? I'll do it for you. That's why all the jivas are very happy in spiritual world. See now what he's saying?
Hey, what do you want, my fine feathered friends? Ah, I see. What shall I play then? An excellent choice.
So he's saying, it's excellent choice, he's appreciating. So in spiritual world, even the Lord is so humble, he wants to serve his devotees. So Krishna becomes a charioteer of Arjuna, and therefore his name is called as, anybody knows? Partharathi. He becomes servant of his devotees. Here he is becoming a servant of the peacocks. And he's telling them, what do you want? Whatever tune you choose, I will play for you. And then when they chose a tune, he's appreciating them. Well done. Excellent choice, he's saying. They're attracting everybody. Attracting the deers, the peacocks, monkeys.
You are as gracious as you are beautiful. I will wear it with honor.
You see? So what did he say to peacock? Actually, the peacocks were very grateful. Since the Lord accepted our request and we played, So they wanted to thank him by offering some gift to him. What gift they offered? And they thought the feather is too small offering, something insignificant. But Krishna wanted to show them, it is not an insignificant one for me. Anything given with love, anu api upahritam bhaktair premna bhurye vame bhavet bhuryapi abhakto upahritam nametoshaya kalpate. Lord told Sudama, hey Sudama, when a devotee gives me even a chipped rice with love, that is far more greater than anything in this world for me. But if somebody has no love for me, like Duryodhana gives chapan bhog also, that is useless for me, he said. Name toshaya kalpate, he said. Here peacocks are giving with great affection. Book, you can put the book back. So in this way Krishna wore the peacock feather. So you can see, this is why the spiritual world is a very beautiful place. Yeah. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was present in the material world, I'm going to conclude with that one. You will see how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Here is one of the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, who lived around 500 years ago in India. One day, Lord Chaitanya and his associates set off early in the morning for the holy land of Vrindavan. They walked along the forest paths and through the Jarikanda forest, which was full of wild and dangerous animals such as tigers, elephants, snakes, and so many more. But Lord Chaitanya walked through there without any cares or worries, simply chanting the holy names of Lord Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
As Lord Chaitanya was walking along, deep in thoughts of Lord Krishna, he unknowingly stepped on a tiger that was sleeping on the path. The tiger woke up. Oh no, no.
You understood what he's saying? Actually, when Lord Chaitanya was going through Jarikanda forest in Bihar, he was going through the forest where it was filled with elephants and tigers and lions and other animals. But he was chanting and dancing without any fear. You mind your own business and they do their own business. Generally, these animals in the forest. But one tiger was sleeping on the road. So Mahaprabhu unknowingly kicked on the face. And the tiger jumped up. And he became ferocious. He started, see, Mahaprabhu is putting his feet on that, you see, unknowingly.
On a tiger that was sleeping on the path. The tiger woke up. Oh no, now we are finished, thought his friend Balabhadra. Lord Chaitanya spoke to the tiger and said, Why are you sleeping? Get up and chant Hare Krishna. The tiger got up and amazingly started chanting and dancing Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Balabhadra was astonished to see this behavior. Another day, while Lord Chaitanya was bathing in a river, a herd of elephants came charging into the water. The Lord splashed water on the elephants and asked them to chant Hare Krishna. When the water touched their bodies, the elephants began chanting, Krishna, Krishna. Some of them danced and others called out in great joy. Balabhadra was amazed to see this miracle. Sometimes Lord Chaitanya's sweet singing would attract the deer in the forest, and they would follow him. One day, even tigers joined in the party. Lord Chaitanya inspired all of them to chant Hare Krishna and dance together in ecstasy. Balabhadra was struck with wonder. How was this possible? Wherever the Lord went, All the birds, trees and creepers became jubilant. Lord Chaitanya is asking all of us to join him, to chant and be happy, just like all the animals in the Jarikanda forest.
So, as you saw here, in the spiritual world, there is no enmity. We have seen, how many of you have seen any YouTube videos where you have seen even tigers are tamed like a cat at home? Any of you have seen that? You have seen that? Yeah, because right from childhood they have trained them like that. So, similarly, in the spiritual world, the tigers and lions are also like pussycats. So, there is no enmity and there is no suffering in the spiritual world. In the material world, if you are eating sweet rice, it's like, imagine sweet rice mixed with stone particles. It's not very pleasing. Spiritual, if you want to eat sweet rice without stone particles, you have to go to spiritual world. So the material world is a mixture of pleasure and pain. But spiritual world is a place of only happiness, everlasting happiness. So in Gita, Lord Krishna says that if you take a little time out in this world to study the Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam, and hear the pastimes of the nature of spiritual world, nature of material world, and understand about the Lord and his pastimes, gradually your consciousness will go from an exploitative enjoying mentality to seva bhava. Like Ravana had an exploiting mentality, Hanuman had a seva bhava and a service mentality. So, like Pandavas had a seva bhava, and Duryodhana and Kauravas, they had an exploiting mentality. So, we have to get a heart transformation before we can return back to spiritual world. So, to the degree we have an enjoying mentality, bhoga vritti, that much we suffer in the material world. When bhagavati is transformed to seva vritti, we go back to spiritual world. Is that clear to everybody? Therefore, in the beginning of the class, I was telling you, in this world there is so much of suffering. We don't want suffering, we want happiness. But most people, you know what they do? When the sufferings come, they only adjust and go on. They just adjust from this situation to that situation to this. Like there was one lady, old lady, who had a firewood she was carrying on the shoulder. It fell off. Now she was thinking, how will I lift this bundle and how will I carry on my shoulder? So she was looking around for help, and one king came in a chariot, golden chariot. And the king said, "Oh lady, I am the king of the world. I am passing through the forest now. Can I help you? You want any help?" She said, "Oh king, you came at the right time. I was looking for somebody to help me carry this bundle. Now can you lift it up and give it on my shoulder?" So king asked, "Which shoulder? This or this?" She said, "This shoulder I've been carrying, it's paining a little bit. So keep on this side," she said. So the man kept it, the king kept it, and asked, "Do you want anything else?" She said, "No, job is done now, you carry on." So he went away. So I was sitting in a class, I asked the old ladies, "If you are that old woman, what will you ask the king?" One Mataji said, "I will tell the king to give me a servant maid who can carry my firewood from the forest. Because every day I am cutting and carrying myself. Instead of servant maid can carry, it will be better." Another Mataji said, "I will ask the king to give me Indian gas supply. So that I can regularly get supply. I don't have to go to forest to cut the firewood." So, in this way, they were all giving different answers. I told them one very simple thing. If the lady told the king, "I wish I had a son like you," then the king will say, "I don't have a mother and you don't have a son. So I will become your son," and that they do now, adoption. Imagine if the king becomes son of this lady, this lady will be taken by the king to the court. He will give her silk sarees to wear, ornaments to wear, nice basmati rice, nice food, pulao, kadi, rasamalai, everything to eat. She can lead a happy life. She didn't ask for anything. She just wanted only one thing. "I want to become your mother." That's all. Similarly, in the Bhagavatam, Lord Krishna teaches, if anybody wants to connect with him as a friend like Sudama, mother like Yashoda, or a lover like Radha and the gopis, or very dear associates like the cows and the peacocks, then they are the people who go to spiritual world. If you connect with the Lord. Of course, connecting with the Lord cannot be done immediately. Therefore, we begin it with the chanting of Hare Krishna mantra, like we have these beads. This is the purifying method, which is very fast purifier. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So daily chant 108 times at least. If you are not chanting, it will take you only 10 minutes only. Just chant 10 minutes every day. And 5 minutes read one page of Bhagavad Gita. Totally, how many minutes totally? How many of you think 15 minutes you can give for God every day? You can give? Sure? Only few hands up. Others are very busy. Okay, all hands are up now. 5 minutes of Bhagavad Gita, one page, and 10 minutes of chanting. Just do this much and your life will become sublime. It will become much better. You will be going from suffering to happiness. Asatoma sadgamaya. You know this? Tamasoma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. From this world of death, we have to go to the world of immortality. From the world of darkness, we have to go to the world of light and happiness. From the world of suffering, you have to go to the world of happiness. From the world where everything is temporary, we have to go to the world where everything is permanent. From the world of smoke, we have to go to the world of fire. That's what Shastra says that. So, I'll conclude here. We can take questions for 5-10 minutes. If anybody has any questions. So, Lord Krishna says in Gita, don't just waste your time converting an attached heart into a skyscraper building. Some people work very hard to accumulate money to buy this, buy that. When they die, they don't know where are they going. He says, spend some time, in working for the eternal life, happy life, everlastingly happy life. We have one more mic for them to ask a question. We had one more mic. Where is that? Is it working? Maybe that mic you can give me and this mic you can give them. 5 minutes I can take some questions. Yeah. One more? Yeah. Till then you can loudly ask if they want to ask. Anybody? Yes. Yes, anybody? Yeah, please. Correct. Ashashvatam. That is temporary. That is because, see, when you look at the sun, there is no shadow in the sun. But when you turn away from the sun, you see the shadow. Correct, no? Please repeat one verse, famous verse I'll tell you. All of you can repeat after me. Janasya Krishnat. Everybody. Vimukasya Daivat. Adharmashilasya. Sudukkitasya. Anugrahayeha. Charanti nunam. Bhutani bhavyani. Janardanasya. See, this verse says, Janasya Krishnat Vimukasya. Janta means people, Krishnat Vimukasya. They have turned their face away from the Lord. And due to that, Adharma Shilasya, they have become Adharmik. Adharmik means they have gone against the true nature of the soul. Sudukkitasya, therefore they have become full of suffering. That means it's like saying, instead of looking at the sun, you turn away from the sun. Then you see the shadow. Then you don't see light, you see darkness. Similarly, when we turn away from God's laws, we break God's laws, then we suffer. Just like a man is following state laws. When he breaks state laws, they will handcuff him and they'll put him in the jail. Similarly, when we break God's laws, then we suffer. Otherwise, we don't suffer. For example, in this world, to do sinful activities, you have to spend a lot of money, correct, no? Smoking or drinking or drugs and all that. Illicit sex and all that. So you will see, first of all, number one, they have to spend money for purchasing sin. It's like giving money and purchasing sin. Secondly, after they consume the tobacco or cigarette or liquor, then the body also suffers terribly. It causes pain. That's the second installment of suffering. First installment is money. Second is pain. Third is doctor's bill. They have to spend money for the doctor's bill. Correct? No? And fourthly, police. Sometimes a man is drinking and driving, there's an accident, police will catch him. Or somebody is doing illicit connection with some woman, then he's caught by the police and put behind the bars. And fifthly, Yamadutas will come after death. That means totally 5 installments of suffering comes for a sinner. So why should one do sin at all in this world? Think about it. On the contrary, if you want to be a devotee, so this bead bag, how costly it is? Just think about it. How costly is a Bhagavad Gita? So one copy of Bhagavad Gita, 5 minutes every day and 10 minutes of chanting, one's life will become virtuous life instead of vicious life. So my humble request to all of you actually, if you aren't chanting till now, how many of you are not yet chanting but would like to chant 1 round every day? You can raise your hand. Very good. Very wonderful. There are more than 20 hands up. Very wonderful. So many of these devotees are not yet chanting, but they want to chant. So Ashimpu, you come every week here? Same place you come, in the same hall? Okay. So we have been having this program arranged by Giridhar Prabhu and Shweta Mataji, the chief organizer of the program. We also have Balachandar ji organizing in society. So Suman Prabhu is mainly organizing it today. So I'm thankful to all these people. You all have the golden opportunity. Like today you heard one lecture. If you keep coming weekly once, you can always get to learn more. So in essence, this is the point. Like if somebody is stealing, he is punished. Similarly, when we break God's laws, we suffer. Otherwise, we don't suffer. When we align with His teachings, which we will learn from Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, therefore we should study the books to know what is right, what is wrong. Like one boy came and cried to me, "Sir, I have eaten so many goats, so many chicken. Now I have come to know that I should not have eaten. I am afraid they all have gone into my belly. Now what to do? How to take them out?" I said, don't worry about it. Past is past now. But if you sincerely repent and you cry and you chant Hare Krishna, then Krishna says, Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami mahashuchaha sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja. Krishna says, surrender unto me, become a devotee by chanting the holy name, and I will dissolve all your sins, he says. So don't worry about the past. At least from now, we should chant the holy name and study Gita daily and live a life in accordance with those teachings. Then we can become happy. There will be no suffering. We will go beyond all suffering. As I told you, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, and we will go to the spiritual world. Thank you. From anybody from other side? Any one question? Mic is working? Yeah. Yes. It's not working? You can ask loudly. Actually, if the suffering takes you away from God, it's a curse. If the suffering is bringing you closer to God, it's a blessing. For example, Pandavas suffered also. Pandava's kingdom was snatched away. Draupadi was insulted. They were sent to Varanava to be burned alive. Their kingdom was taken and they were driven to forest. And even after 13 years when they came, the kingdom was not returned. With all these sufferings, the Pandavas did not forget Krishna. And they did not walk the path of adharma. So they didn't commit suicide also. You will see that. Modern day people with little suffering, they commit suicide nowadays. Pandavas had that inner strength because Krishna was always with them. So despite their suffering, the suffering induced them to remember the Lord. So it's a blessing for the devotees. But for somebody who is not a pious man, if sufferings come, it's taking a man away from God many times. And that is useless. Correct, no? So the sufferings in this world should remind us that I am doing something wrong. Correct, no? Say, for example, samosa may be very nice. You all know samosa? Somebody likes samosa, he eats 1 dozen samosas. Is it good? The next day he'll have problem. Correct? He'll have dysentery and all that. So, therefore, we see that this enjoying mentality is what is causing us suffering. 1 or 2 samosas you eat, it's all right. But eating a dozen samosas is no good. We tend to overeat and we suffer. So, in the same manner, we suffer ourselves and we give suffering to others also. And that is how this world becomes very hellish. But when one becomes a devotee never gives suffering to others, not even an ant also. Devotees don't give suffering. They actually always try to please the other living beings, uplift the other living beings, and inspire them to go back to God. That's the meaning of a devotee. Thank you. Good question. Anybody else? One question. One last question. Yeah. Yes. It's not coming? Speak loudly, Mata. Yeah.
मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि संसार जो है वो दुखालय है और दुखालय हमारे ऊपर कुछ ना कुछ प्रॉब्लम सबके लाइफ में आता है, लेकिन वो प्रॉब्लम के साथ भक्ति में हम कैसे स्टेबल रहें?
अच्छा, माता पूछ रही है. All of you know Hindi? Yeah. Okay. Who doesn't know Hindi? You can raise your hand. Who you don't know Hindi? How many of you? 1, 2, 3. Only 3 devotees, 3 people don't know. You can ask your neighbor, they will tell you. I am going to answer her question in Hindi. क्योंकि माँ ने हिंदी में पूछा, मैं हिंदी में बोलता हूँ मैं. देखिए, गजेंद्र मोक्ष जानते हो आप? गजेंद्र मोक्ष लीला में पढ़ते हैं. गजेंद्र नाम के एक हाथी को एक मगरमच्छ ने उसके पाँव को पकड़ा एक झील में. उस समय वो आसमान की ओर देखते हुए जोर से वो चिल्लाया, पुकार रहा था परम सत्य भगवान को. ये आदि पुरुष, आप किधर हो? मेरे पाँव को पकड़ा है मगरमच्छ, बहुत दर्द हो रहा है मुझे, मेरे नाता रिश्ता कोई बचा नहीं पा रहे हैं मुझे, मैं असहाय होकर आपकी ओर मुड़कर मैं आपको पुकार रहा हूँ. ऐसे उन्होंने उनके नाम पुकारा. उनके नाम बोल गए थे लेकिन उनको पुकारा, भगवान को पुकारा. उस समय भगवान आसमान में गरुड़ के ऊपर सवार होकर आ रहे थे, हाथ में चक्र को लेकर. सोऽन्तस्सरस्युर्बलेन गृहीत आर्तो दृष्ट्वा गरुत्मतिहरिं कवुपात चक्रम् उत्क्षिप्य साम्बुजकरं गिरमाह कृच्छ्रान् नारायण अखिल गुरो भगवन् नमस्ते. नारायण अखिल गुरो भगवन् नमस्ते. ये गजेंद्र ने क्या किया? भगवान को आते हुए देखकर उनके मन में एक विचार उठा कि भगवान अगर मेरे घर में आ रहे हैं तो उनको स्वागत करना चाहिए, उनको पूजा आराधना करनी चाहिए, लेकिन इस परिस्थिति में मैं कैसे कर पाऊंगा? मेरे पाँव को कोई मगरमच्छ पकड़ कर रखा, मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ? तुरंत इधर मुड़कर देखा उन्होंने, उस झील में एक तालाब, एक कमल मिल गया उनको. उस कमल को उखाड़ कर भगवान को अर्चना कर दिया उन्होंने. इससे हम लोग क्या सीखते हैं? हमारे जीवन में गजेंद्र जैसे तकलीफ के बीच में भी हम जी रहे हो, लेकिन भगवान की नाम जपने के लिए, गीता पढ़ने के लिए समय हमको निकालना ही चाहिए. कभी कभी इंसान बोलता है कि जब समुद्र की लहरें बंद हो जाएंगी उसके बाद मैं नहाऊंगी. समुद्र की लहरें कभी बंद नहीं होंगी, हम नहाएंगे नहीं कभी, हमेशा दुर्गंध आएगा हम शरीर से. लहरों के साथ साथ ही नहाना चाहिए. Even in the midst of difficulties only we should learn to do bhakti, because this world is not going to change. Along with that, मैं आपको पूछता हूँ, सरल बात है, लोग बोलते हैं टाइम नहीं, लेकिन टीवी देखते हैं कि नहीं लोग? व्हाट्सएप का रिप्लाई करते हैं कि नहीं? न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ते हैं कि नहीं? बैठकर खाते हैं कि नहीं? उसके लिए टाइम निकालते हैं ना. इसलिए हम लोग अगर भगवान को टाइम निकालना चाहिए करके अगर हम सोचेंगे तो टाइम मिल ही जाएगा उसके लिए जरूर. ठीक है माता? थैंक यू. श्री प्रभुपाद की, श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की, श्रीमद् भागवतम की. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Jaya Jaya Radhe, Jaya Jaya Shyam, Jaya Jaya Shri Vrindavan Dham. Radhe Jaya Jaya Shyam, Jaya Jaya Shri Vrindavan. Jai Jai Radhe, Jaya Jaya Shyam, Jaya Jaya Shri Vrindavan Dham. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan Radhe, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan Radhe, Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan Radhe, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan. All devotees can bow down. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad Divine Grace Abhaya Charanaaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंडगिरी गोवर्धन की ब्रजभूमि में वृंदावन धाम की मथुरा धाम की द्वारकापुरी धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की श्री मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की गंगामय यमुनामय की भक्ति देवी तुलसी देवी की समावेत भक्त वृंद की श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ छठ गोस्वामी प्रभुगण की वर्तमान आचार्य वृंद की ब्रह्म माध्व गौड़ीय गुरु शिष्य संप्रदाय की श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन की all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga.
We have Ramakrishna Prabhuji and Swati Mataji who can come over. We would like to acknowledge Suman Prabhuji. Suman Prabhuji has contributed 100 Bhagavad Gita books to the school-going students. So,
Hare Krishna. Here is a blessing for the family. Srimad Bhagavatam has appeared in this dark age of Kali Yuga to lit up the world like a brilliant sun. And now you and your family are blessed to welcome Sri Krishna into your home in the form of this spiritual literature. Read, relish, and repeat it to others regularly. And you and your family members will feel unlimited bliss, prosperity, and love of God, and be able to achieve the kingdom of God in this very life. Krishna Mati Rastu. So they are taking a Bhagavatam straight. Thank you. Mahamantra. Hare Krishna. So this is the second family. What is the name? Ramakrishna Prabhu and Swati Mataji. Here is a blessing for their family. The merciful loving glance of Sri Krishna bestows all types of prosperity all around. Kunti Manani says this. Ime jana pada swadda supakpaushadi virudaha vanadrinadi udan banto hedante tava vikshita. She's telling that when you glance at the nature, everything becomes prosperous, she says. May your sincere study of Srimad Bhagavatam regularly and taking the matter given in it seriously to apply in your life bring you such divine glance of Sri Krishna upon all your family members. Krishna Mati Rastu.
Hare Krishna.
One word. Many of you know Bhagavad Gita. Who spoke Bhagavad Gita to whom? Anybody knows? Who spoke Bhagavad Gita? Krishna to Arjuna. Now, anybody knows about Srimad Bhagavatam? What is the difference between Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam? See, Bhagavad Gita is by Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam is about Krishna. There are totally in this 18 volumes like this. It consists of 18,000 shlokas. It's in 12 cantos. You all might have heard about the Leela of Krishna lifting the Govardhan hill. Also Krishna dancing on Kaliya Nag. You know that? Similarly, Krishna stealing butter. You heard those pastimes? Krishna opening his mouth and showing to Mother Yashoda the whole universe in his belly. All that is there in these books, but they are all coming in the 10th canto. In the first 9 cantos, what you will read is like Lakshmi Narayan Leela. You will read about Sitaram Leela. You will read Matsya Kurma Varaha Narsingh, all the Dashawataras. All the Leelas you will find. You heard about Prahlad Charitra? Prahlad? You know about Dhruva Charitra? And how Narada became a devotee? All that is there in this Bhagavatam. It is like totally 18,000 shlokas. But the shlokas are there with English translation and also elaboration also. We have in Telugu, English, Hindi, Marathi, multiple languages we have. So, if you keep these books with you, as I told you every day, only 1 page a day you have to read. How many minutes? I told you? Yeah. And chanting how many minutes? That much only you do. Small drops of water will make an ocean. So, you have Bhagavad Gita. How many of you have with you Bhagavad Gita in your home? You have Bhagavad Gita as it is. Okay. So, if you don't have Bhagavatam, if you request Prabhu, he will arrange, we will bring it for you.
Suman Prabhuji did Shastra Danam for 100 Bhagavad Gita books for the... And just a brief context about Shastra Dan. If this is a option available wherein which we want to contribute to, or donate to Bhagavad Gita. In case if we are not able to donate it, temple takes the responsibility of providing those books to the schools, colleges, libraries, orphanages. We go to them and villages also, and we give them for free of cost or for a very less rate over there, depending upon the feasibility there. So,
like, this month is which month? Do you know that? Gita Jayanti month. Like in this month, it was the month when Krishna spoke Gita to Arjuna. So this entire month we go to villages, schools, many places. Many pujaris are very poor. We give them this Bhagavatam set or Bhagavad Gita to them. So how many they sponsored? How many Gitas?
He sponsored 100 Bhagavad Gita.
Somebody sponsors 50 Gitas, 100 Gitas, like that. So this family has sponsored 100 Bhagavad Gitas. We want to give them a Krishna book. Hari Bol. You see, the Shastra Dan means they're reaching out the Bhagavad Gita to 100 families now. So those families are getting one copy of Gita. So if any of you wish to give, they can again contact you.
And we have Jyoti Mishra Mataji, who has helped us out in reaching to 140 school children and helped us out in enrolling them for the Values Olympiad, which is a option available for the school-going children for classes above 5th class. They can enroll in it, take an online test, and they all can read Bhagavad Gita as well. With some 140 Gitas she has helped us in reaching to the school children. So let's acknowledge her. Now we would like to call Usha Mataji she is Mataji and Prabhuji is going to be part of the Gita Yagna that is going to be organized in the temple. So we'd like to acknowledge them as well. Yeah, they're sponsoring around 60 Bhagavad Gita sets as part of this Bhagavad Gita Yagna.
Balchandra Prabhu to conduct this. So we want Prabhuji to give them a small gift. We want to thank for all their efforts. Suman Prabhu wants to facilitate. They want to facilitate Prabhuji. So let us thank Radheshyam Prabhu for coming and enlightening us with this knowledge. Hare Krishna. So we'll thank Prabhuji for coming and giving us his valuable time by loudly chanting once the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare. Thank you very much.